Hello again, it's Jennifer with Watercolor Girlfriend, and today we are going to do a lovely abstract painting. Love to do those, and let me grab them real quick. I've got them right here, and I've actually created two of them. They are kind of similar. They're fun to do, and I wanted to create another one based off of this one, so I created one. Then I looked at that one again and I recreated it. You can always hang them together. It was just an exercise for myself. And here we go. Grab the paper pack that we used. This is hot press. This is one of my favorite textures. I like to use hot press for some reason. I like to use hot press. This is an 8x8. And it is a thicker paper, 140 pound. I like to use those as well. Keeps it flat. It also is great for the actual watercolor itself. Sits on there nicely, but you can see it's still a little warped. And I tape it down. I like to give it this crisp edge around the side. You can do a number of things. You can even put it behind glass and that'll help settle it down. Okay, in this one we are going to use a number of materials that I have here on hand. We're going to include a stencil, so you want to grab some of those. We are going to use a couple of different brushes. This is a cheap brush. It says it's 3/4 of an inch. Crafter's brush, whatever. I like the size, I like that it's a squared off. And then this is a 12 round, and it tends to have like a little, I don't know the name for it, but it's like a longer tip. I thought I might enjoy it. Yeah, I didn't like it, so I trimmed that off. Whatever. And then I'm going to start the painting. Actually, you saw me start it off already with an oil pastel, and this is something simple that you can get. And you want to get some watercolor pencils, water soluble crayons, Q-tips, and then I have a couple of different white gel pens which I love to use. This one is just the Jelly Roll. You're probably familiar with those, and if you haven't seen these are fantastic. This is by Uniball. Ooh. Get that back on there for you. You can hear me. So this is the Uniball version, and it actually has the Japanese writing on it. I'm sorry, or maybe yes, Japanese writing. And I hear those last a little longer. If you want to check them out, I think they're lovely. I think they have a little bit more ink to them than the Jelly Roll, but these are also lovely. And they both seem to last a long time. Then we're also going to incorporate some of these fun shimmery paints that I'm trying out. This one is from CSY Art Gallery, if you wanted to try those. I think they might be handmade, but they're just lovely colors. This is like some blues, and this is actually a green, this brown color. Yeah. So we're going to incorporate those. And I think that's about it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Questions about the materials or the style that we're working in today. And always be friendly and subscribe before you head off. And we're going to dive right in, and I'll play some music and maybe I'll pipe in and talk about a few things. We are choosing just two colors. That's a really interesting way to work. So it's just green and pink. Doesn't have to be anything like drastic. You don't always have to incorporate every color. Pick a couple of your favorite colors and work those in together so that, it gives you some challenge. How do I work these just two colors? Especially if you're used to working with a variety of color, you're just picking stuff. just pick them from the beginning and get to it. All right, let's head over there. Just getting right into it. You saw us start off with the resist technique, and I'm using an oil pastel. Just something I got at a big box store. I love how they flow, and I love the texture they give, so it's not quite a solid white. It gives you some texture in there. And I'm going to start off with my big brush, and I know I want to get right into it and put down a lot of color, a lot of pink right away. So I also want a lot of water, and I'm just going to go from left to right there. Just work that through just the way you feel about it, however you feel about laying it down. I love how that resist shows through. It's one of my favorite ways to work, is with that white resist. I'll tell you, I haven't even tried the other colors that come in the box. I'm not sure I want to. I like how this incorporates some of the white. So you can dab away some of the paint there to give you a different look and feel for the paint. It doesn't always have to be set in stone once you've put it on the paper. And I forgot to mention, I'm going to use some of this really fun ink, liquid watercolor. It's kind of like ink. You could use it as ink as well. But it's really vibrant and really keeps its color. You can get like a 20 pack, I think a 10 pack. They're cool. And you can buy individual colors as well. I think I have like an individual green, and incorporate that on top. It gives you just a more rich color. And then my green. And this time I'm mixing like a blue-green, which, you know, you can mix whatever color you want, or you can start off with straight from the palette, however you want to go. Some wiggles. Trying to pick up as much of that paint there as I can. Just love this color. Just thinking about what I want to do, if I want to put it anywhere else. Oops, sorry you can't see that, but I'm grabbing some more of the green that I started with before I added the blue. I want to incorporate that on top of what I've got going. And that counts to use just 2 colors. I'm not going to say that's 3. I don't feel that it is. So here we are with a watercolor pencil. I just like to bring it through. It has dried, the painting, so I'm just going to drag it through as a dry pencil. Sometimes it's fun to kind of do it through wet, which you can do as well. I'm just following the motion of the painting that's already on there. Oh, and a little bit of water can help. It gives a different feel. It's fun to work with it like that, so give that a try. Yeah, see, it gives it a darker, a little darker, and it'll get a little wider. You really experiment with the stuff you've got already on hand without always having to buy something else. So after the painting is dried a little bit, you want to incorporate some more colors. I love to layer on, and instead of always starting off with a real dark color, but building up layers, I find it gives a nice appeal in the interesting look in the painting, draws your eye in. and we'll see how that looks once it is also dried. And we might add some more on top of that. And you'd want to keep continuing to do that also with the pink. There we go. We'll get that in the shot a little better for you. I want it a little darker over here. There. I think that looks great. I love this big brush. You don't have to worry, it's probably designed for acrylics or something, but you know, who cares? I think it's great. All right, and one of my favorites, a Q-tip for some of the green there. It's, I need to load it up there with some paint, but it also is going over some of the resist. So it's like, whoops, there's a little spot. Yeah, this Q-tip wants to unravel. All right, I think it's still gonna behave erratically. Yes. All right, I'll jam that on there. It's all right. Okay. Yep. That's fine. I'll try again. And some people use like a spray bottle. Get the paint wet, but a brush works good too. All right, there we go. I'll finally get the look that I want. And, you know, just put them randomly where you think they look nice. It doesn't have to be a system or I can only put down 10 dots. I usually put them down and then look at it. Do I need another one? Yes, I do. Maybe another one after that. There we go. Great. Now I want to repeat that. Give it a nice balance in the painting. Again, you'll be going over some of the resists. So, you know, make note that they might not be a full circle. Just fine. A full dot of color. I want to balance the ones that are on the right hand side nicely with the ones that are on the other side. And there's some more that resist, but that's okay. We'll come back again when they are dry and put a little more as well. This will dry down and yeah, super. I love how that's starting to come together. This is going to be a lovely painting. I was really pleased with the first one. And I'm really enjoying working on this 8x8 piece of paper. It's a great size. I love the square. It's not too big, it's not too small, and I think you'd be able to find a frame for it nicely, easily. You can find some mats pretty simply. It's a nice size if you want to venture into it if you haven't tried these yet. All right, so it is dry, and now grab some stencils, your favorite stencils. I love the swirly doodles. It's just some random swirly stencils, and I also love these. So you can choose what you want, you know. I'm gonna, yeah, there we go. We'll just use this a little bit. It's a nice way to incorporate some other movement, color, and the pencil gives you another texture. And you can do this real tight and really fill it up, or you can do it loosely so it gives it that, you know, pencil unfilled kind of look. And I really like how the lines appeared in the first painting that I did. So here I'm going to incorporate them again. I thought it added some great interest and moves your eye around. So I just want to, and I'm not doing anything too, you know, elaborate here. And I like the pink. The pink is coming through nicely in this pencil. You can buy those pencils individually. I'm almost positive you can buy them as a pack too. But I just went to the art store and grabbed a few. And then I'm going to blend this. So it's a little more color, but then it also gives you this wet, diluted paint around the outside of the line. You know, you can't really get that look any other way than this way. So I like to incorporate that. Just go through all of these. Take your time. I know doing this in a straight line can be maybe a little stressful. A little practice. You can always try on a separate piece of paper and see how that works for you. You could use something else if you would just want the lines, but you want to skip the watering down. It's a different feel though with this watered down look. It still gives you the pencil through the watercolor. It's cool. Trust me, give it a try. All right. So now I like to circle the circles. I just want to go around each circle. Sorry you missed some of these. And yes, the gel pen. Pick the one of your favorite, and you can give it a try. See, I have this little pad here where I add little doodahs and see which one I like, and they're both nice. But I did just get the Uniball one, so I want to give that a try. And it is very nice. It comes, if you order it, it's like a pack of 3, which might take me a while to go through. But I'm real pleased with how they turned out, with how it's a good quality pen that they make. Wish I didn't have to like throw all these in the trash, of course. That's a side note for another time. Just want to go through and do all the circles. I don't like to add too much of this and get too playful with the painting. I like just the clean style that it adds. Okay, we'll just finish these up. And then we're going to get into the fun kind of glittery, shimmery paint. And I made a little, there you go, a little reference. It could be nicer. It folds up and it barely fits in the tin. It really should be redone. But it helps, decide what they look like. And they're all very nice. I don't use that top right one enough. Sorry you can't see me getting the paint, but I am. I'm getting that green one down there, the middle, and adding that. I'm going to put that into these circly areas. Just delicately. I think I should use a different brush. This is a little, oops. Oh, I think it needs a little more pink before I do this. 1 second. Let's get that pink in there. And I'll be back to the, it happens. Something caught my eye. Look, I'm still like holding on to the other stuff there. I got a little green in there. That's a nice addition to the the painting, the green into the pink. It really is a bold color there. It has a nice contrast. Yeah, cool. That's gonna look nice. And a little more of that, a similar sort of effect in the corners for the greens. I will get back to that shimmery paint. You know, sometimes things just hit you and you gotta jump at it. I like the, you know, what's gonna happen when that dries. It'll give it some neat texture in the paint. That's one reason I really like the watercolor is the natural texture it gives itself. So I should also be telling you that you can check out my other videos and see some fun stuff. I also enjoy doing like painting landscapes with ink and watercolor. Have you ever done that where you go out and journal and with your journal, with your sketchbook and capture the landscape but also add in some ink? That's really a pleasing look. Something you can do when you travel or just when you're, you know, out even in your backyard. And then I do other abstracts. So I hope you'll check some of those out as well. Explore some of the other ways to paint, some other techniques. Okay, I'm finally getting to it. Gee whiz. And I love the little glittery, but I think this brush is just too big. I think I need to get a bigger brush. Okay. Yeah. Yep. A smaller brush, I'm sorry, is definitely gonna. Let's, okay. There we go. That's better. You can also find me on Instagram. I bet you're on Instagram. Come over and find me, Watercolor Girlfriend, and let's talk about painting, watercolors, fun stuff going on in your artwork. Do you guys like to listen to music while you paint, or do you listen to podcasts, or do you watch a movie? Sometimes I'll throw a movie on in the back. There, I wanted to zoom in so you could see this a little bit better while the pink is drying. Can you kind of see that? It's all like shimmery and reflective in there. It's a nice touch. You don't have to go overboard, but you know, my favorite word, adding some interest. Gives it another layer of, you know, you can see the other layers below it. I think it's really cool. So anyway, I was saying, what do you listen to? Podcasts or music? I listen to a variety of different music when I'm painting and editing. When I need to do that kind of stuff too. I put together a playlist for some of my music, some happy stuff, and I've also been listening to some easy listening. Oh, I couldn't believe that's what they called it. Okay, easy listening. It used to be considered classic rock, then it just was considered rock. And now it's... So we're still enjoying it. All right, I'm just going to let you watch this a little bit. And I want to turn it around here and get the other one. Tap, tap, tap. Just a little bit of paint there. Goes a long way. It's a real soft paint. It's really cool. I've never made my own paint, but they did a really nice job with this one. I just ordered it online. It was just something I wanted to try. You see, it doesn't have to be real perfect. I don't even really like that so much. I'm also not the kind of girl that likes to live with like a really manicured lawn and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I mostly have to because of HOAs, but I like it kind of messy. There we go. Cool. Yeah, can you see that? It kind of changes the iridescent look. Again, that paint is by CSY Art Gallery. And they sell them in like mini tins. I'm not sure you can even buy like a whole array of colors or if it's just like these small little kits. But I might look into more of them. This might be enough glittery, shimmery paint for me. But you should check them out. They're pretty cool. Okay, we're almost wrapping this painting up. I want to add in some splatters because I love me some splatters. It's kind of contrasting to the other brushwork that you've put down already. I'm not a big fan of a Pollock painting where it's just splatters. I like a variety of marks and brushwork. I mean, that's just my preference. But, you know, a little touch up again. Make sure I've filled in all the areas that I want to. And it definitely looks darker in person. So you'll see that more at the end, how much more rich the colors look compared to kind of the video. And you get a lot of lighting going on, and that kind of happens. Sorry, but it's kind of allergy season, and it sounds like I have a frog in my throat. Just looking over some areas. I love that layered look. It's something kind of unique to watercolor. I wish I could bottle that green-blue color. I've since ordered a few tubes of something that might be close to that, but I'm still on the hunt for the perfect tubed blue-green. And the tape I use is like Gorilla tape, I think. It's green at the paint store. And see it, look, it took off a tiny bit of the paper, which is fine. You know, technically you're going to probably mat it or take a picture of it and crop that, or you won't notice kind of thing. But this was I think the first or second time I'm using the tape, and it's better than the blue tape for peeling back. You still have to be gentle. This one came off a little bit better. Sometimes I will, you know, make it less sticky by sticking it to my clothes a few hundred times before I use it. You know, pull off all the hairs and the strings and whatever. But I'll use it, you know, 4 or 5 times, and it's fine. Yeah, great. Oh, I love how it turned out. It's a nice combination of colors. I look forward to posting it on Instagram for everybody. Make sure you sign it. Always want to sign your work. and you don't necessarily need to name them. And, you know, I don't always sign whatever's in my sketchbook, my journal. Date it, and then we all know it's yours for eternity. And, you know, figure out somebody you want to give it to. Maybe you want to give it as a gift, or, you know, as a holiday gift or birthday. There we go, and we'll take that off of the block, and it looks nice. Yeah, fantastic. There's the paper that I use. I showed it to you a little earlier. Yeah, it's okay. It's a nice texture, but I swear it's not 140 pound. I swear I've used 140 pound that's nicer than this. So I will share that as it comes forward. There, see? It stays flat. I can get a nice picture of that. And there it is. Great! I love how that turned out. Did you give it a try after you watched it the first time? These abstracts are so fun to make. And it doesn't have to be this big. You can certainly start, you know, a quarter size. But, you know, sticking with the 2 colors is a challenge for you. I really enjoyed working that way. So I hope you'll subscribe and leave some nice comments. Leave some questions about what you want to work on, and I'd love to answer those for you. All right, we'll see you next time.